Hi, and welcome to another episode of Cranial Diarrhea. I'm Tiff.
And I'm Hertz. Mega Hertz. You may think it's because I'm powerful, but it's because I'm old. And everything hurts. Mega Hertz. Better than your gutterfish crap.
So he was later today than we had initially said we were going to do this, and I did a test video to make sure the sound was okay and, you know, the lighting and everything.
And then she played it back and I couldn't hear the sound.
And then it was like I was sitting here by myself and I was like, I'm Tiff. And I'm gutterfish. Meh, 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 meh. And I was like, really, gutterfish? Yeah, gutterfish. You know, that's that's how that went.
Now that we have the recap. So what are we talking about this week?
So this week is going to be episode 3 of the Ghost Crap series. We're going to continue on with our list of states that we've been...
It's going to be hard to top that Lady of the Blue Moss that slaps people's butts. That's just hilarious. Now that's a ghost with a comic...
Somebody's needing some attention.
I want to slap my butt.
Yeah, so that's where we're going with this.
I looked for one this week. I found one that's kind of cool, but it's not like a butt slapping ghost.
I found a few that I'm kind of excited about.
All right, so I'll let you go first then.
Well, so before I can start with mine, I have to do the one you missed last week.
I didn't miss it. You gave me the wrong state. You gave me Arkansas.
I didn't. So we're going to go ahead. I'm going to do Alaska. Well, I'll pick up his slack this time.
There's like one person in Alaska that we really need to.
It actually wasn't easy to find this, to be completely honest.
So go back to Arkansas.
Why he didn't do it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. So for Alaska, this is Ship Creek. It's in Anchorage.
What kind of creek?
Ship.
You ship your pants.
Anyway, it's literally a creek.
Full of ships.
I'm gonna say no. In 1980.
Then why is it called Ship Creek?
Oh, I don't live there, so I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm sorry. I'm having some
Technical difficulties.
wardrobe malfunction. Okay. So in 1987, someone murdered an Alaskan native whose name was Marie, according to the story, near Ship Creek. Now she reportedly haunts the area to warn drifters about the dangers of loitering near the creek. Some say she only appears to protect native Alaskans, but others say she protects all drifters. There are reports of homeless being covered with blankets while they're sleeping near the creek. And she appears to favor the area between A&S Hospital and the railroad terminal. So, Ship Creek Marie. I don't know.
So, my first state this week was Georgia.
Oh, we're not going to talk about Alaska? Okay.
Oh, we can, but I mean...
Okay, go ahead. You can.
That's going right up Ship Creek, huh? So, she covers people with blankets, so she's a nice ghost. Does she pat them on the butt after she covers them?
No.
You sure?
I mean...
It could be.
I have heartburn.
You have heartburn? Maybe it's because you ate something from Ship's Creek.
I had a turkey wrap.
So, I went with Georgia.
You were assigned to Georgia.
Yes, and this is Ghost of the Golden Isles. And
Okay.
they call her Mary the Wanderer.
Mary?
Mary the Wanderer. Mary the Wanderer. And what it is, it's when you go to this island on the beach, Mary wanders around. Therefore, she got the name Mary the Wanderer. But it was a young woman whose fiance actually drowned, so she killed herself. So now she's kind of looking for her fiance, and people say there's kind of like they're worried that something's attaching itself because they have experiences when they go home. So I guess she's wandering around the United States now or something.
So,
But could she be in both places?
there are a lot of theories that if you go into a place that has activity and you take something from that place, whether it be sand or a shell or
That could be.
whatever the case may be, that you do experience some activity.
Can a ghost be in more than one place?
I mean, I would think, I don't know what's possible in that realm of
Like
existence.
Mary the Wanderer's right toe is like in Virginia or something
No, I
because
don't.
somebody picked up a shell. It's her right toe.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I just wondered if that could be. I mean, that's something strange. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're time traveling wanderers or. I don't know. But it's really cool to see some of these ghosts because a lot of them that I looked up, especially in some of these states, it was kind of like everything was around water.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if there's some kind of kinetic energy around water.
That's another theory, especially running like creeks and oceans and streams, running water. There's a theory that amplifies activity.
Maybe that's why a lot of them are near that.
Could be.
Maybe they wander on the water.
There's a lot of theories.
Because you
like
did
this.
Ship Creek.
Yeah, so there's like power lines are another one because of the EMS they give off. Storms because of the electricity in the atmosphere.
Possibility. What you got next?
So my first state was Florida. So I went with the Coral Gables Biltmore Hotel. This is in Coral Gables, Florida. It is a Mediterranean mansion hotel. It was built in 1926, and it's said to be haunted by a mobster named Fatty Walsh. I knew you were going to like that. Who was killed there in the midst of a gambling dispute.
And Fatty goes around going, "Did you touch my bum? You touched my bum, didn't you?"
He is said to open doors for waitresses as they carry trays.
Well, that's nice of him.
He writes messages on mirrors, steals lampshades, turns off lights, and plays with the elevator buttons, sending guests to the wrong floor.
That sounds like what I do in a hotel.
It's really him. It's just him.
I'm Patty Walsh.
There are reports of a woman in white that is seen. She is believed to be the spirit of a woman who jumped out of the tower of the hotel. And there are reports of a waltzing couple that are seen dancing across the floor before vanishing completely.
So it's Fatty Waltzer. That's really cool. He opens the door. Hey, Fatty, could you get the door? Thank you. Thank you very much. That's a pretty cool ghost. That's almost like the butt grabbing ghost. But, I mean, could you imagine? Fatty, get the door. The door open. What the?
Only for waitresses, though.
But now,
It's being chivalrous.
in today's times, can they really call him Fatty Walsh? Isn't
I think that was like his mob nickname.
Was he like? But wouldn't that be like offensive now?
I don't know. I think it's all a matter of
To circle he challenged people.
it's all a matter of opinion, I guess.
Fatty Walsh, open the door.
I'm not easily offended.
He's the ghost
so-
with the lampshade on his head.
Yeah, he's the one that's stealing all your shit.
That's funny. I like that one. That one's pretty cool. I like Fatty Walsh. He might make the top 10. We should do a top 10 after we're done with all these.
We'll do our own top 10.
The Lady of the Blue Moss has to be the best because she grabs butts.
That's according to you.
Hey. All right, so the next one I did is Idaho. It's a place called the Berg. This was an army fort turned into a confinement center. And it's haunted by ghosts of soldiers. And they said they're German soldiers that were brought there for interrogation. And they used, I guess, deadly force and all. So when they died, they just left them laying there. Mm-hmm. So, and when people go in there, they see like apparitions and like military individuals staring in the windows. And they hear steps and feel like something's trying to get them and all this stuff. But the one cool thing is, they always hear, "Could I get some Wiener Schnitzel with that?" I'm just kidding. They don't hear that.
What were German soldiers doing in Idaho?
They were captured during the war, so they brought them to Idaho. What better torture do you have? I mean, you could take them to Wisconsin. That might be better.
Hey, nothing wrong with Wisconsin.
But, yeah, they were brought to Idaho. That's pretty cool. I wonder how much it cost to transport them from wherever they were captured to Idaho.
Probably not as much as it does today.
And who in their right mind sat there and said, let's take them to Idaho?
I don't know, maybe that facility was built for that purpose.
Possibly. I don't know.
Or that was the only facility available to hold German.
But there's also a cemetery nearby that has a lot of activity. So it's kind of like that whole little area there.
Okay.
But I thought that was unique.
Yeah.
Not as good as Fatty Walsh. That's pretty cool. Fatty's going to make the top 10.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yeah, it is your turn.
So next on my list is Hawaii. And it took me a minute to find something for Hawaii, and then it dawned on me, Pearl Harbor. So, I did mine on the USS Arizona. Huh?
You did Hawaii last time. You told us that story. Sorry.
So I did the USS Arizona, which is in Honolulu. On December 7th, 1941, 4 bombs ripped through the steel of the USS Arizona, sending her to a watery grave beneath Pearl Harbor, taking 1,177 of the 1,512 crewmen with her. 333 survived. The ship and her crew were never recovered. Many people claim to have seen faces of young soldiers on the surface of the water around the memorial that was built over the wreckage. Whispering is also heard. Beads of oil still leak from the ship and are regarded as black tears shed from the lost crew, which obviously we know that's oil, but I just thought that was a really haunting turn of phrase there. With this, there is a picture floating around the internet. It's called the ghost face of the USS Arizona. And so what this is this woman was visiting the memorial that's built over the ship and was taking pictures, and she wanted to get a picture of the sun glinting off the oil that was coating the surface of the water, you know, so the oil's coming up from the ship or whatever. And I have to tell you, I pulled this image and it has stayed with me since I found it. It is very creepy. I don't know if I can get this to show up. I might have to turn this light off, but because I haven't mastered the whole like put a picture up on the video thing yet. I don't know how to do that. So light off. All right, look at that.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Look at that.
It's Fatty Walsh.
That's some creepy shit.
That was pretty wild.
That's some creepy shit.
That is kind of wild how lights can play on that.
What do you do? That's a face.
Yeah, but it's the light
That is
reflecting
a
on the oil.
face. That is a face.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Have you seen it yourself?
Just there.
How do you know the picture's not doctored?
Dad, that's a face, and that's a face. That's a face. That's a face.
Folks, I think it's a face.
Face.
Did Fatty Wash open the door for him? All right, so
Face.
that's the thing about that, like things like that with the, major battles and shipwrecks and things like that. That's kind of what I wonder in our area, like up at Stones River, And I think they actually do ghost hunts and stuff up there. And I think
They do.
a person we're going to have on in the next few weeks,
Does she agree?
I don't know yet.
We should probably talk to her
She
before
will
you
agree.
announce it on the show.
She will agree, but she actually goes on ghost hunts and stuff, so maybe she can share some stuff on that.
I've been thinking more and more about it because we've been doing this topic for a while now, and I feel like at some point, as terrified as I am, I feel like you and I should go and do something like that.
You know how much fun I would have scaring people on one
For
of those
the
things?
show. The only issue is that if I'm out in public, I'm usually armed, and so
My only issue is it's at night, and about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I'm done.
yeah, Dad's gonna have to take a nap.
It's nap time.
You know he likes his power naps.
Yeah. That's why I'm megahertz.
Every 30 minutes or so?
Yeah.
Yeah. Every 15 if I could.
Doesn't matter what he's doing.
Excuse me. I gotta take a nap. Sports Center. Put it on pause, record it.
That's why all his kids pass his class, because he's napping through half of them.
All right. On that note.
Extra credit if you sing a lullaby.
Yeah, extra credit if you don't snore. So the next one I had was Indiana.
Okay.
Indiana, the only one I could really find, and it was kind of boring to be honest with you, it's called Diana of the Dunes. And it's in Indian Dunes National Park.
Okay.
And Diane, and that's not even the lady's name, her name is Alice. I don't know why they call her Diane. Maybe Fatty Wash named her. But they call her Diane, and she's seen walking around, and the theory is her husband, when she got married, her husband was real abusive and all this stuff, so the theory is she comes back and walks on the dunes to remind her of happier times. It's not a Fatty Wash story, I can tell you that.
There's a lot of holes in that story.
Yeah. There's a lot of holes in Ghost Period if you read stuff.
This, my next one I'm kind of excited about because it's just so off the wall. I really got a kick out of it until I learned what happened, and then I was like, oh, that's not great. This is for Illinois, and this is Showman's Rest Cemetery in Forest Park, Illinois. So on June 22nd of 1918 at 4 a.m., a train collided with the temporarily stopped Hagenbeck Wallace, I hope that's how you pronounce it, I don't know, circus train carrying 400 circus performers. Stop. Stop.
Look, it's the ghost of the bearded lady.
Don't laugh. The wreck occurred just outside of Hammond, Indiana.
What's that flying? It's the train.
The colliding train was moving at 40 miles per hour. The collision destroyed the 3 rear cars carrying many performers. A fire broke out on the train due to broken kerosene lamps. 86 men, women, and children were killed.
Oh, wow.
Showmen, clowns, trapeze artists, lion tamers, etc. 86 is an estimate, as some bodies were believed to have burned to ash in the fire. No animals were harmed. 53...
Oh, that's, let's make that important note.
53 of the recovered bodies... Well, to be honest with you, when I was reading this story, I was like, what about the elephants? Anyway... 53 of the recovered bodies were buried in a mass grave plot on the outskirts of Chicago, in a plot owned by the Showman's League of America. Only 5 bodies were identified and given a proper burial. There are no specific headstones. They either have their circus job or name, i.e. number 4 horse driver, or unknown male number 39, right? Or their nicknames, Baldy, Smiley, their circus nicknames. 5 stone elephants were erected to honor them. So here are the reports, okay? The sound of elephants crying in the distance, even though there were no animals harmed. A police officer claims to have felt the earth shudder as if an elephant were trampling by him.
Oh, wow.
And then you hear laughter and circus music at odd hours.
I really thought you were going to see the policeman pulled over a car that turned out to be a ghost car with 89 ghost clowns in it. And they come piling out.
So this is the first one that came up for Illinois, and I was immediately intrigued because there was a big picture of an elephant statue.
So they really have erected elephant statues?
Yes,
huh.
Yes. And I actually, your biggest fan, lives in Chicago currently. She's going to school, and she has said that she will go and do some reconnaissance for us.
Oh, cool.
And she's going to report back with pictures.
If you see a ghost car full of clowns, just keep going.
Maybe don't go at night by yourself. Seems sketchy to be in a cemetery at night by yourself.
But that's kind of...
She's kind of small too, so like...
I think the cool part about this is the weird stories that you hear and the things, and... Whoa.
The dogs laying at the...
But there's a lot of, just strange things that happen in this world and mean people, I guess, and all this stuff. Now, this next one caught my attention.
Okay.
From Kansas, because when I clicked on it, it had somebody getting comfortable over there. It had a picture of the Hamburglar from McDonald's. And this is in Hamburger Hill, Kansas. And the ghost is called the Hamburger Man. He runs around going, "You old surprise with that burger?" No.
I am already a fan.
So, I don't think you're going to be after I tell you, because I was kind of like, okay, this looks cool. So, this entity is supposed to be half ghost and half monster.
I thought you were going to say half hamburger.
Half ghost and half cheese.
Okay, half ghost, half monster.
He catches his victims, drags them back to his lair, and grinds them into hamburger meat. I don't know why I think that's funny. That's weird. There's a cemetery right nearby called Stoll Cemetery that is supposed to have hidden steps directly to hell. And its legend is this half ghost, half monster uses those steps to access and exit. And the reason they say those steps lead directly to hell is it used to be cults and witches used to gather in the cemetery. But that, I mean, I thought it was going to be like the ghost that grabbed the butt type story, but it turned out, I thought this ghost would be like in a McDonald's fixing cheeseburgers. But it really turned out to be kind of gruesome. I was kind of like, this isn't where I thought it was going.
How do they know that he's turning people into hamburger meat?
No,
and what does he do with this meat afterwards?
I guess if you go to a restaurant and they have a sale on hamburgers, you don't want them. I don't know.
It's like a Sweeney Todd situation?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know whoever that is. Is that like Fatty Walsh's cousin? Sweeney Todd?
Andy.
Well, you called him. He wants to be on the podcast. Squirrel.
Here you go.
Yeah, that one took a turn. I thought it was going to be like a funny one because the hamburger was there, and it took a really dark turn. I was like,
So my last one is Iowa, and it is the Black Angel of Oakland Cemetery in Iowa City. So this woman, her name was Teresa, was a physician from Bohemia who immigrated to Iowa City with her son Eddie in the late 19th century. She worked as a midwife until 1891 when Eddie died of meningitis. He was only 18. She had him buried at Oakland Cemetery under a tombstone shaped like a tree stump. Afterwards, she moved to Oregon, fell in love, and married. Her new husband, Nicholas, died in 1911. She returned to Iowa City with his ashes. She hired Mario Corbell to create an angel monument to Nicholas and her son. The angel, originally bronze, was erected in 1912. Her husband's ashes in its base, it hovers over her son's grave. Okay? When she died, her ashes were placed in it as well. So over the years, the statue turned black, probably due to oxidation. But there are several different stories told about why it turned black. Okay, some say that her late husband was promised on his deathbed that she would not find another man, but she did, so the angel turned black. Some say that she killed one or both her son and husband, and her sins turned the angel black. Okay? Others say she was evil, and the night that her ashes were placed in the angel, it stormed badly, and the angel was black the next day. Okay? So here are the claims of what's happening here. If you touch the angel, you die within 7 years. If you kiss the angel, your heart will stop beating immediately. No kissy kissy.
6-foot COVID rules in place.
No means no. 4 boys peed on it and all died that night in a car accident.
Well, that's a real pisser.
There's a story of a man who cut off one of the angel's thumbs. He was found in the Chicago River. The cause of death was strangulation, but the only
Fatty Walsh took care of him.
The only mark on his throat was a thumbprint.
Fatty Walsh, I'm telling you, he opened the door.
The angel's face comes to life, eyes blinking and mouth turning into a smile.
Time to go. See ya.
One lady was looking into the angel's face and was overcome with sadness and sickness. Falling to her knees, she could not control herself until she was forcibly removed from the cemetery by her friend. And it's basically said that everyone you ask that has had an experience here, it has a different story to tell.
So why would you go to a place like that?
Seeking the thrill.
Is it really a thrill?
I mean,
you go and you cut off the thumb, and the next thing you know, Fatty Wash and the boys show up, throw you in the river, put you some concrete shoes on.
What accent was that?
I don't know. I was gonna do like the New York mob accent, like say hello to my little friend, but it just went with the concrete shoes. Oh, the colors changed. It's enlightening. Unlike our podcast.
So,
I would really be interested if anybody's out there that's experienced any of this stuff or in a different state that has one, share the story, because it's really kind of cool to hear some of these stories. And most of them are just like, kind of, I don't want to say generic, but kind of harmless, kind of interesting or whatever. But then you get the one like where I saw the hamburger and I thought this is going to be a funny one. The Hamburglar's on there, but it wasn't. But I do like Fatty Wash. Now I think he's in number 2 behind Blue Lady at the Malls. Because we got one that claps your butt and one that opens the doors and puts lampshades on his
guys, if you have like...
Now wait a minute, I have a question. If Fatty Wash steals lampshades, do you just see like the lampshade go across the room? I mean, where can he hide it at? Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
My dog hates our neighbor. He hates her.
Oh,
I don't know
what
why.
if the hamburger man used killer tomatoes? We would have Attack of the Killer Hamburger Man tomatoes.
Oh, I do have some interesting things that I want to share. Well, one interesting thing.
Okay. Since nothing else has been too interesting tonight, why don't you share that?
So, in the next couple of weeks, there are going to be people here for various reasons, right?
They're going to take my spot on the show. We're going to have guest host in.
We have a few.
I'm going to sit in the gallery and listen.
I have a few weeks where we're going to have people over to the house or whatever for different gatherings, get-togethers, whatever. And anyway, so I'm really like compulsive about the way my house looks and how cleanliness is a big thing for me. And so anyway, long story short, I was mopping the walls and time
out. I've heard of washing the walls down, like wiping them down.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's just with a mop. It's easier to do.
Okay. If anybody else in America has ever mopped the wall, I want to know.
I swear, it's a thing.
Mopping a wall.
Yeah. It's no different than wiping the wall down. You're just using a mop. And it's easier because, you can get, like, up high without...
I'm mopping the walls over you.
The walls have been mopped. So anyway...
I can't sleep a wink. That is true.
So
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I start in my bathroom and then I make my way into the master bedroom, whatever. And I get to the wall by the window and I'm like mopping away and whatever. And I look down and I happen to notice that I see a spot on the wall that's like a lighter color than the rest of the wall is, when it's wet. And I'm like, that's weird. So I look a little closer, I scrub it a little bit. I look a little closer and it's a handprint and it's literally like this big, okay? And it looks like there's like drippies coming down from the palm. And my first thought was, oh, it's my daughter, right? But it's like a toddler handprint, and we didn't move into this house until Angela was like 6 or 7. No way is that Angela's handprint.
But if a toddler had stuff on their hands that can make a print in the paint, which can be
What
done.
toddler?
Who's a toddler you've had over lately?
He didn't go in my room.
No, I'm just saying in general.
Just Thomas, and he doesn't go in my room because we've got
Maybe I went in there, put my head print in there.
No
See,
way.
I got a small hand.
But it only shows up when
I
the
got a
wall.
messed up finger. Look at that. Oh, sorry.
It only shows up when the wall is wet.
It only shows up when the wall is wet. That was.
And you can ask Angela
What was
because
that?
I showed it to her today. I
What?
wet the wall and you can see it.
What was that show we were watching where the like? Was it here or was it just at the house where the handprint kept showing up, like on the mirror in the shower, but it wouldn't go away, and the guy would put like his handprint on there, but it would fog back over, but this one would never fog back over, and it was like a small child's handprint. Was that something we watched or something I just saw at the house?
Wasn't me.
Oh, okay. Wasn't me. Maybe it was Fatty Walsh. I have two favorite ghosts now. Fatty Walsh and the
You know what
lady
you're
of
doing
the-
next week?
I do not.
It's awesome.
Do you know what you're doing next week? You're
Are
on
you-
vacation.
Are you ready? No, I'm not.
Aren't you leaving next week?
Next Saturday.
Yeah, so we're going to do one?
Yeah.
Hey, you're lucky, folks. You get to see me one more week. I am seriously contemplating.
We're going to do one the night I get back, too.
Okay,
We're not skipping a week.
but we're going to have guest host in, and I'm going to retire and sit on the other side of the camera for a little bit.
No, that the week I get back,
That's when my biggest fan will be here.
she'll be here, but she's.
We're going to make her sit in this
I
chair.
very highly doubt that that's going to happen.
Oh, no, she's going to do it.
I'm not going to.
She might as well get ready.
I'm
She's
not going to
do
do
it.
that.
I'm
to
going
her.
to sit over there and make jokes the whole time, see if I can crack y'all up.
I'm not going to do that to her.
I am. Oh, I lost my pen.
Are you ready to figure out what you're doing next
No, I
week?
lost my pen.
Now we're getting into some M states, so I'm going to say the state name so that you know for sure.
I lost my pen again.
Oh my God.
It went in your crack. Of your blocks. Sorry, I got my pen back from my daughter's crack. And the blocks. You're such a goob.
Louisiana.
All right, so next week I'm doing Louisiana.
Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That's the wrong list.
Oh, no, see, just like Alaska.
Yeah.
Should we do this off the air?
That's the wrong list. You have Kentucky,
I have Kentucky,
Maine,
Maine,
Massachusetts,
Massachusetts,
and Minnesota.
Minnesota. The Golden Gophers. Okay. You heard it here live. Breaking news.
You heard it here, Flive. That's what
Live.
you just
My pen
said.
was in the crack.
You heard it here, Flive.
Flive. All right, I think it's that time.
This one was short. We're gonna
This
have to.
one was a little short. We didn't talk as much because they wasn't as. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of these were kind of. Mine were kind of lame,
Yeah, they were.
but there really wasn't anything good to find. I guess maybe starting next week, if we can't find something good on a ghost, go to a haunted place.
That's the point.
Oh well, I was just doing ghosts.
Most notable haunting. I've been doing places.
Oh well, I've been doing ghostesses. Ghostesses with the mostesses.
Look at your cousin. Have you ever seen her smile that big? Kyle Bush was at Walmart in Smyrna and she got to meet him.
Oh, Lisa.
All right, so on that
I don't know
note,
who Kyle Bush
with
is.
Kyle Bush being in Smyrna, he's a NASCAR driver. He drives a
I
NASCAR.
actually thought we were done.
That was the ghostess with the mostess. Until we talk about the lady of the blue moss grabbing butts again.
Oh, wait. Have you learned how measurements work yet?
I have, but if my ladder wants to identify as an 8-foot ladder, it can.
Somebody bought a new kitchen light, needed an 8-foot ladder that someone said he had, and he brought me the ladder, and it was not an 8-foot ladder.
Okay.
Funny thing is, it's a 6-foot ladder. The real funny thing is, he's over 6 foot tall.
But the even funnier thing is, I brought it to her and she carried it into the kitchen
No.
and never noticed it either.
It's not my job to make sure the ladder's right. I am a female.
Hey, did your light get up?
Yes, but
That's
it
all that
was
matters.
super difficult.
That's all that matters. The 6-foot ladder survived.
Super difficult.
All right. Until next time, we gone.
It's a face. It's a face. It's a face.
It's not a face.